Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Margaret Pennard, and I'm a historical fiction and fantasy, otherwise known as speculative fiction, author of books. And I just got my cup of tea, and I'm here to say hello and do a little research trip update. There are a couple new things today, so belly up to the bar and join me with a cup of tea or whatever you happen to be drinking, as the musicians say. So, one of the things is that I have headphones in with music playing. So I'm holding the speaker close to my mouth. I see people do this in videos, and I thought I might try it. Maybe it's a thing for a reason. So let me know if the sound is okay. And I am also broadcasting live to Instagram. So I just thought I'd try this because I wanted to put a live video in my feed. So there we go. We'll have this in the Instagram feed. I am doing the live stream today to give you an update on the research trip. So my last live stream had to do with research reads, and I got 3 interlibrary loan books where I read them very carefully, took pictures of all of them, learned that pictures on your iPhone can actually copy text, which, thank you, Allison. That may come in handy later. And am basically doing all I can before the trip to be able to go to the right places, see the right people, get the hours right, and not miss out on opportunities. And so I thought I'd let you guys know, maybe you're curious, author life, how I've been doing that and how far I've gotten, because I am 1 week out from my departure date. So also, happy Valentine's Day. I am in love with a cup of tea. Actually, you know what I'm in love with? My new cardigan. So, it's long, it's got pockets, and you know what else it has? Elbow pads. Obviously made for me. So I was so excited when I saw this, and that's gonna be my gratitude shout out for today. It's little things. You go to Buffalo Exchange and you find your dream cardigan. So let me know what you're in love with today. So I'm very excited about this first international trip in 5 years. I'll be flying into London because it's the only place that Portland flies direct in the UK, unfortunately. And then training it up to Glasgow, going out to the coast in Ayrshire, and then back to Glasgow, back to London, back to Portland. So that's the rough itinerary. And the breaking down stuff and confirming stuff is where I left you last update. So that's what we'll be going into today. And I have a question of the day, but I'm going to have to wait till later for it because I have an exciting update, which is not within arm's reach. Hold on. Can't believe I did that. Try to be so prepared, but then there's always something that gets left out. Okay. So hello to the chat too, if we haven't gotten to that yet even. Shannon was here to say hello. Anita was here. Maybe got roped in from the Instagram side because I saw her name pop up there. So welcome either way. Cat Paw Rosales, hello. The Little Paw Prince from Mexico. Jocelyn Carter, hi. A unicorn cowboy. I love the vibes there. Yeah, elbow pads, like leather, not elbow pads. Patches, I guess you would call them, because pads remind me of volleyball, which are external. Yeah. Cat Snovel Adventures saying hello, Cat. Yes, and I'm in love with the cardigan. So happy Valentine's Day, and let me know what you are in love with. Yes, exciting. Book Skirts and Purrs. Leslie is here. Interesting. Anita says Instagram went live before YouTube. That's technically not possible because I'm in StreamYard for both, and you have to go on StreamYard live first before you hit live on Instagram. Interesting that it showed up there first. Okay. So, what have I nailed down? So, I had the airfare. That was the first thing I had to commit to, right? So, I had to decide my dates. And because of the beanster, because of the cat over there, who I'm sure will make noise later in the feed, I didn't want to leave for too long because my neighbors are taking care of the cat and I don't want to ask them for too much as a favor because, I'm not paying them regularly and they're doing it out of the kindness of their heart. So, I didn't want to leave for too long. Also, there's lots of travel going on in my family. I'm going down to California later to meet up with family who are here from Japan, and they have a limited window. So anyway, lots of outside factors made it very difficult to decide, and I finally bit the bullet and got the airplane ticket like a couple months ago. So that's done. Then I had to think about where am I staying? And of course, in my cottagecore life, I would look for bed and breakfasts, right? Because my best experience traveling is when you meet someone who is from there and you have food that they cook for you for breakfast and you get recommendations for local places to see and visit. And that is what I have done for most of my life. I visit places and I try to find bed and breakfast because not only is it a good deal, it's also going direct to people who live there rather than paying corporate overhead, which is not my thing. So I tried to do that, but I was trying to do it through Google Maps because I don't really own travel guides anymore. At one point, I thought I might be going to Ireland, and I picked up an old Ireland travel guide, and most of the bed and breakfasts that were listed, half were no longer in operation. Like, it was problematic and not useful. So I went back to Google Maps. The new thing, since I haven't done this in 5 years at least, the new thing is that Google provides a list of all the different brokers, all the different middlemen you can go through, whether it's Booking or Booking.com or Hotels.com or Super.com or Expedia or whatever, right? And it tells you the base rate when you're hovering over things on the map, and it tells you the rate with taxes and fees. And so like I kept having to switch and double check and verify. And so it was really confusing. And especially in London, which is like awful for hotels, right? I would read, I would look at the location, I would look at the price, I would read the reviews, and they're always like terrible reviews. And so I was just getting a little frightened that I wouldn't find anything in my pay range that was not terrible and like trauma inducing. So I was holding off and looking for other options. But a week beforehand is really, really as comfortable, as uncomfortable as I can get before just making a decision. So yesterday, because this live stream was coming up, I made my decisions and I have hotels for all 6 nights reserved, not paid, but reserved. So I'm going up and then coming back down. If I find something that I like in London, I can maybe change the reservation for the end one. But at least I've got like a roof over my head, fingers crossed. Nothing is guaranteed. So hopefully everything goes smoothly and I've got airfare, I've got shelter. Those are the 2 main things. The next thing that I had to do was the long train ride. So when you book trains in the UK, it's a very complicated system. There's lots of different companies that operate trains in different regions. And so I explored this a little and looked at like saver rates. Really, people are rewarded for booking ahead of time. So that's what I did for my one long leg. I got a return trip between London and Glasgow. And so that is taken care of. And I know the time because I'm staying the night in London and leaving in the morning. And then coming back, I needed to leave room in the morning for a visit and then come back during the afternoon and then stay before I have my flight the next day. So leaving room for error, whatever. And I know there's strikes going on right now. Like lots of things can go wrong. But knock on wood, we're planning a little pillow room That's not a thing. A little room into the schedule for that. Fingers crossed again. So that's my one big train journey. And now the shorter ones that are like hop, skips, and jumps that are 45 minutes, that are 10 pounds, I'm not as worried about those because I can be a little bit more flexible and they come more often and they're not going to be as expensive or as much of a differential in price if I get them that day. So that I'm not too worried about. However, for people who are going to the UK, let me draw your attention to the thing that I learned this time that would have been nice, but I realized it too late, and that is the Heathrow Express. So if you buy this 30 days out, 60 days out, 90 days out, it's only 15 pounds at 90 days, I think. And basically, this is a direct train from Paddington Station, I believe, to Heathrow. And so you're not going to get in traffic and you're not going to make stops. And so it's perfect. And if you can get the deal, it's a very good deal. But right now, the return trip, the both ways journey is 50 pounds. And that's too much for me. So I'm going to go back to like 45-minute on the tube, like the stopping every station, whatever. We'll enjoy it, right? So that is what I would recommend for people to do 90 days out as soon as you know what your dates are. Heathrow Express. Otherwise, you'll be spending an hour both ways instead of 15 minutes. And but at least it'll be cheaper. So that is my conclusion. So those are trip details. Things, yes? Let's see. Let's check in with the chat. YouTube lag and pads. Elbow pads? Oh, I don't know. I know what you mean. You know what I mean, yeah. Cat Paw says, I can PM you deets for where I stayed in London. Ooh, okay. If you have a lead on a place, I have a week, so I can still cancel. I think one of the places, the deadline is like later today, but yeah, that would be great. On Instagram, I think Cat Paw would be good. And Richard is here. Happy belated book birthday, Richard. I saw the lovely posts people put up for your book launch. That was great. London. Yes, I am coming to the UK in 1 week. Yes, time, etc. I get a lot of people watching on the tube. Yeah. It might come above ground and I might get some, sightseeing once it goes out, but maybe not. I don't remember. It's been too long. I can literally get a bus from my house to Heathrow. It takes about 90 minutes, though. Yes, the bus is the other option, but I don't want to mess with the traffic. Yeah, of course. Get saying hey and hey. There we go. And Instagram. Hey, Instagram. All right, still there. So trip details are done. What's next in my report out? Ooh, the research stuff. Okay, so this is a good point for me to say, hey, if you're new here, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, and take a sip. Take a shot. Ooh, that was hotter than I thought. Ooh, okay. Research details. So when I decided how long I was going to be in the UK and I decided where I was going to be, I thought, ooh, I need to decide which places are the most important to visit for research. Because while on one hand, this is a reward trip for reaching 1,000 subscribers and just like having a mental health break for me, it is on the other hand also an opportunity for research. And I will tell you why it is so exciting that it's a research trip. So London, not so much. That's going to be more the indulgent side. I want to meet up with some people. I want to visit some bookshops. I only have like a couple half days there, but that's what that's going to be. But in Glasgow, I have the Mitchell Library and the City Archives, where I have found material that is noted when I research things online, but not scanned in, not electronically, not digitized, I should say. And so I've written to the reference desk, I suppose, at the city archives. And they told me how you get an appointment. And I came back, a month later saying, okay, I'm ready to make an appointment. It was 2 weeks, or it was a week and a half before. No, it was 2 weeks before. So hopefully it's enough time in advance. And I had 5 sort of collections that I needed them to access and send me what was in them so that I could request maximum 6 items. So you really have to narrow down because I only have one time slot to do this. So it's going to be, expectations keeping low. It's going to be an experience of interacting with the librarians, seeing the inside of the archives, which is going to be cool. Definitely going to be vlogging that. And getting a chance to see 6 things. They may not end up in books, but at least I will be taking pictures and, I don't know, smelling old books. I mean, that's a dream come true already. So the city archives, and they haven't written me back. I wrote them on Sunday night, which they would get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's been 3 days and I haven't heard back. Cross your fingers for me. I would really love for that day to come together. The other place that I was concentrating on is a place called the North Ayrshire Heritage Center. And this is an example of one of the small museums, local regional museums, often called historical societies here in the US, where they will have sometimes seemingly random collections of items. And a lot of these are material history. So you get clothes, you get letters, you get tools, you get promotional materials. And so for the book that I am currently writing, I'm looking at labor and social history in the 1830s and 1840s in Glasgow. And I think there should be some things there. I wrote to this Heritage Center a couple months ago, asked them for reading recommendations, what they had in their collection. I looked at what I could access here and did that. So that video where I did recent reads for research was actually pre-gaming this research trip. So knowing that those are the topics that it covers and the things that it's interested in for its local history is very useful. And I'm excited to see what else they have in their collection. And that is out in Ardrossan, which is a ferry terminal spot. I haven't been out to the Ayrshire coast, so I've only been up to sort of more North Argyll. And so that will be different for me. And they don't have a lot of accommodations. So that was one of the really hard places to find somewhere to stay. But it's done. I have a reservation. We're good. So those are like the 2 historical places. The other places I'm looking at in Glasgow are the Tobacco Merchant's House. I thought that'd be cool. It predates my period a little bit by like 40 years, but it should be interesting to see like the previous generation. So some of my characters, one in particular I'm thinking of, is going to be a son of someone who made their money from tobacco plantations in North America. And what's going on during my period is sugar plantations in the West Indies or like Jamaica, Grenada, etc. And there's this interesting intergenerational tension that's happening between people who made their money and then, America won its independence and then they moved on and then they changed industries. And so I'm very interested in exploring more about that, which Glasgow is doing a really good job of highlighting. I'm seeing it in museum collections. I'm seeing it in like neighborhood tours. I need to look into that. That's one thing I forgot. Okay, good. So I still have one more thing to do. And so that's really exciting. And that will be more research heavy. So London, more indulgent bookshop heavy, Glasgow, more research, like very focused heavy. So that's the research update part. And then the social world. Should I talk about the research thing? Yes. Before I get into the social world. So yesterday morning, I got up and I thought February 13th. I think today's a writing in the morning day, or not a writing, but like a whip writing work in progress day. And so if you see my tweets, I had a picture of my big piece of paper with all the colored sticky notes, which is people and events. And then I had this, which is like the family timelines that I'm working on. I said there's like intergenerational conflict and that sort of thing. So I was trying to figure out which people to choose, what their situation would be, where they would be in the birth order, what sort of things I'm giving them, what I'm giving my characters in this RPG world. And then I broke into a new notebook. Oh my God. These notebooks are so smooth. So if you know French paper, you like a Rhodia. And it's been in my cabinet for a while. So I declared it was seasoned enough and ripe for the writing. And I started, I don't know, what is this? What is this, plotting? Yeah, I started plotting out scenes and I got pretty far here. There's the second page. And you know what? I kept going. I thought, why not? There's the third page. And these are rough outlines for 3 books in a series. So who am I? Who am I plotting right now? What? So that was very exciting. And yesterday, I don't know, it was just like a couple hours where I was in the zone and I was imagining these people that I chose in the different sort of family lines and what their life journeys would be, what they would be up against, what they were fighting for, who they knew, like, and I don't know. It was like the Super Bowl for me. So that was very exciting. And that will help me focus the research and the places that I want to visit and the vlogging that I want to do. And so that was all like coming together in time for the trip, which is, I didn't know if that was going to happen. So yes, so that is the second part. Trip details done, research details like covered, and very exciting. So that made me like, I don't know, feel like a writer again yesterday. Yeah. The third part of this research trip planning is the social whirl. So, yes, Richard is in London. I know. So I've got like a half a day, like I said, and I think I'm like trying to send messages out to people to see if they want to meet up. I've got the 22nd in London, and the 25th in Glasgow. So hit me up if you are around and want to say hey and find a bookshop or find a cafe or maybe find both, which is like heaven. Yeah. Richard says, just enjoy the touristy bit. Kat says, one day I hope to visit London. It's amazing. Richard says, I could show you the British Museum and all the antiquities we liberated. That would provoke quite a conversation. Cat Paw is oohing and ahhing over the French paper notebook. I know, it's all worthy. Katya is here. Hey. The plotting on the Rhodia paper looks impressive. Yes, it's pencil, as you could tell. So, things may change. Erasers may be necessary, but yeah, that is a lot. Three books in a new series. I have one drafted, and I'm trying to get as many things in a row, like a site finder, before I go back to edit it. And yeah, so when I plotted out the scenes, I was like, oh, I'm trying to remember what I wrote last November. It was very, very cool. So excited about that. And the social whirl. Okay, so let me come back to that. So London on the 22nd, Glasgow on the 25th in the afternoon. And what I would say is, give us a shout. So let me know. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, if you want to reach out. And we could meet up, which I think would be really cool. So that is about it for the update today. I have 2 other things. I've got the reminder that you can read a book by a Black author tuber today and feel good about yourself because you'll be featuring fellow authors who often get hidden by the algorithm. And, you know, a lot of them are indie authors. So you're boosting the signal for books that are really great. And, you know, then you could share with the world something ahead of the curve and, you know, like an author before they were big. So that is a good feeling. And then the other thing that I just made public is my Friday stream. So I will be gone for the week and I will not be doing anything on YouTube for that week. But this Friday evening, we're having a stream party. So Shannon will be joining me on the channel and we will be watching another AWC classic, like Turner classic movies, but AWC. And this is going to be Rachel Wright's channel, Rachel Lachman Singh, and she did a great presentation on titling your book, how to title your book. So if you're curious about that and want to hear Shannon and me talk about it, and then Rachel pop on to answer our questions, feel free to join us. Sorry, I'm dropping things. 5 p.m. Pacific on Friday in 2 days. So that is going to be the next AWC thing. We will also be going through applications in the next week-ish. So, you know, wish us some strong thoughts because it's going to be hard to make some of those decisions, let me tell you. Yeah, Shannon says, woo, for the stream party, bring your favorite snacks. We've had 2 so far, and I had Reese's for one and Junior Mints for the second. And, you know, Reese's Pieces really wins. It just wins. So I'm going to have to go back and find some for this stream. I think it'll be nice. Yes. Richard says, woo. And Shannon says, there were so many great proposals this year. Yes. Yes. Late last night, I had a conversation with Barrett about karaoke rebranding. And then it was like 7 p.m. and I thought, oh, before I forget, I have these 4 tasks to do. And I got through 3 of them before 10 p.m. So yesterday was just like executive function day for the month. I think I will be happy with just that and just sign off for the rest of the month because honestly, it was epic. I had like the couple hours of plotting in the morning, which felt amazing. And then like a couple hours of buckling down to get like AWC stuff and get Audiophile magazine stuff done. And what was the third thing? Like trip planning stuff. And so I was just like, when the end of the night came and I was like, I'm done. My brain is done. So we're in a good space. Oh, let's see if it does it. Nope. It did it on me yesterday, but it's not doing it today. Barrett discovered that if you do these things on StreamYard, it does the little Apple virtual background thing, but it's not doing it for me today. That's fine. Okay, so here was my question of the day based on my plotting 3 books in 2 hours. That it just took, you know, since November stewing about it. And then today, February 13th, like sharp bursts. I am a sharp bursts of progress type of person. How about you? We already went through the coming attractions. Oh, the other thing that's happening this weekend is the Patreon book club. So let me make that a scroller so I can keep it up. But Patreon book club for February, we picked Rust in the Root by Justina Ireland. She's not an author tuber, but she is a Black author. So we're supporting a Black author with this read. And it's a young adult book that is historical fantasy. And it's giving me the Nevers vibes. If you liked the Nevers, which I think was on HBO for a hot second, or what? St. John, what's her name? Begins with an E. Sci-fi author. It's not Edna St. Vincent Millay, but it's something St. John something else, and now I'm blanking on it. But it's giving me the vibes of like speculative fiction that is dystopian, but also commentary. I'm loving it. I'm loving it so far. So hopefully we will have a good discussion on Sunday. If you want to join, you can check out my Patreon tiers at the address below or in the description if you want to click on it. So yeah, slow but steady or sharp bursts? What do we think? Kat says, great seeing you, Margaret. Hope you'll have a wonderful rest of your day. Yes, it is Wednesday, so I think Kat's sprints are starting right now, so I'll pop over there next. Shannon says, yuck for Reese's anything. Not a peanut butter person. It's okay. We won't hold it against you. Jocelyn is looking forward to the party. Yeah, she's got candy snacks. I like that in the emoji discussion. Yep. And then there were 42 proposals, which is more than we've ever had to go through. Thanks to people submitting multiple proposals. That was great. Shannon says, I do better with sharp bursts. Yes. Yes, that me. Cat Paw also says intense bursts of creativity. I agree. So with that in mind, just let it flow in and flow out as you're able. I think that's like part of the self-care is acknowledging that you can't continue with the same high level of productivity all the time. You've got to task switch. You've got to give it some rest. You've got to fill the well. So there you go. There we go. Well, thanks for being here, everybody, and being a part of this Bookish Nerds community. You're much appreciated. And yeah, I'm excited about the trip. So thanks for coming along with me virtually. And if you want to get in contact, give us a shout. Send me a message on Twitter at TasteLifeTwice or Instagram at Margaret Pinard. And we'll see if we can hook up on this trip and make some books and some tea happen. That would be lovely. So thanks, everybody. And I'll see you Friday, I hope. Bye.